And there again, the Feicels and the Courtrights both reside on 225 West, which is south and west of the Bontrager Park property. They said, oh, we didn't know you had a kennel when they were approached for their signature. And then I'm pretty sure that you have the returned signature page from Mr. Poyser, notice to interested parties.
Correct.
And the board has a copy of that as well.
Wendy, you asked if you want him to read that.
From Mr. Poyser. They should be grandfathered in. This is a waste of everyone's time and money, and end of story.
Says Mr. Poyser. Mr. Poyser owns the 2 large agricultural plots to the north of the Bontrager property. I thought that satellite map was important, and I didn't say this because the application that was submitted says that the property size is 5.9 acres. Mr. Bontrager owns 5.9 acres, where his residence and farm and the 4 farm buildings that you can see in the satellite photo are, and then another 30 acres that is directly adjoined to that, south of that plot. Then he also owns the plot to the east of that is kind of a, I don't know, an angular, yes. And actually the kennel is built on the 5.9 acres and the 9.8 slice that goes down the east, and it goes down the entire east. And then he also owns more acreage to the south of there. But the kennel is actually located on 9.880 acres plus the 35.9 acres. It's difficult. The GIS combines the 30 acres and the 5.9 acres, and they call it a 35.9 acre plot. So I just thought that was important too, because there are acreage requirements. He's not close to any of them, but interesting nonetheless. This kennel exists within a quiet farming community, routinely inspected for cleanliness and health standards. I read in the report that Mr. Kirkpatrick did. I'm sorry, but I don't think you wouldn't find my home as in a good condition. I think he said it was immaculate. He mentioned that when they do their chores, they take their shoes off and do their chores in their stocking feet. So the facility is immaculate. I'm pretty sure my own, I shouldn't say this in front of this many people, but oftentimes my home is not immaculate. There's absolutely no ill effect on the neighborhood caused by this kennel, or no ill effect on the environment. The property value have increased with the newly built structure, and the income to the operator adds to our local economy. And I know that there are other folks that want to comment. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. We had 2 interested parties sign in support of this. Is that correct?
Yeah, right.
Would one of you, would you want to come forward? So if you'd like, we can make seats, or you can speak from where you're standing.
I guess the biggest thing is, you know,
could I have you come up to the microphone?
I guess the biggest thing is
state your name, please.
Timothy Feicel. I am one of the Feicels that she's talking about. Matter of fact, I'm within line of sight. I can usually see his house, and he can see mine, I'm sure. As stated before, I never knew that he had it. I mean, it's soundproof. I barely ever hear anything. Never seen any loose dogs. No problem whatsoever. As I went up there the other day, talked to him about being here, because I got some letters and some pictures that were actually rather disturbing, and the facility looks nothing like it. He's done everything that I can see to abide by the rules, and violations, you know, to correct them. So as far as anything goes, I mean, if you guys have any questions, I'm completely for it.
Okay. Any questions for this person? All right.
Thank you.
My name is Jed Fought, and my wife and I operate a bed and breakfast that is straight east of his property. And we get a lot of people from Indianapolis and Chicago and surrounding areas, and no one has ever complained about it one little bit. I've been over to his place several times, and it's about as neat a place you'd ever run into. He's very professional at what he does. One of the issues with this country right now is the biggest employer is the federal government, the second biggest is the state governments, and the third largest is Walmart. This man is just trying to make a living on his own property. He's not bothering anybody. He's trying to make his own way and support his family. He doesn't work for anybody else. He's self-supporting, pays his taxes, and I don't think this should be an issue to anybody. That's all I have to say.
What road is it that you're on, Jed?
We're on 150 West.
That's 150 West.
Yeah, it goes back to straight east of the property, and the river and the lake separates us, and Sam carries over a lake and a river, and I have no problems with his dogs. They bark when he feeds, but it's not an issue. I'm a farmer, and I'm tired of everybody attacking the agribusiness profession, and this is just another part of it.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Fott?
This is the person you saw at his house when you were out there today. You can see his house.
Okay, very good, thank you. Okay, are there any other interested parties in support? Okay, did we have any interested parties sign in opposition or remonstrance?
I have a petition from the neighbors that live within a half a mile. They signed off as opposition. Can I present it to you? They signed their name.
One of them?
No, but they signed their name and address in opposition to this kennel.
They presented it.
To Ernest and Esther Yoder and Randy Fott, and they're within a mile.
Okay, did they present that to you?
They gave it to me. They gave it to me, yeah, because they couldn't be here tonight.
I have a comment on that. I don't know about the Randy Fotts, you know, what their thoughts were, but the Ernest and Esther Yoder, they are our Amish neighbors, and Esther signed that, and then Sunday, she told my wife, I am sorry, she said there was a lady at the door, and she kind of
She signed it.
spoke me into this, and she said, I didn't realize what it says till after I signed it. That she was not in opposition.
Would you like, you may
Sure.
bring that up.
Sure.
Would you identify who you are?
My name is Pam.
Yeah, I have the same name on my petition.
She signed it.
Your name, ma'am?
Pam Sordell.
And what is your address?
8758 Clarkston, Michigan. He sells a lot of puppies to the family and neighbors in my state.
Thank you, ma'am. Why don't you pass that on down and we'll put it in our file. Did you say at least one name on there is also signed on yours in support?
Yes.
Ernest is Ernest Yoder.
Okay. Did we have anyone else sign in as interested parties in opposition? Okay, noted that we did not. Okay, do you have further things that you'd like to add? Do we have, I guess before I ask for questions from the board members, why don't you go ahead and bring any input that you'd like to have, and then I'll give my inspection report.
Okay. And I told Marlin Bontrager he had no idea I was coming up there, other than maybe a half-hour notice. He had no idea otherwise. I did have to go up there because a complaint was filed stating that there were 4 or more dogs on this property. That is, to have 4 or more dogs on your property, you have to have BZA approval. The complaint asked for a wellness check by the Sheriff's Department, so they went first, unannounced. It appears you had a very good visit there. When they called me and told me I could go ahead and go up again, they told you I was coming and you didn't know it was going to be in a half hour. I asked them for a report and they said, you make your own report when you get there. I walked in, talked to Mr. Bontrager in the barn. His 2 little boys walked in and I could tell it was not rehearsed. I could tell it was something that happened on a regular basis. They walk in, they grin, they hang up their coats, they hang up their hats, they take off their shoes, slide them under their coats, did their chores in that whole facility in their stocking feet. Now that's meaning it was that clean in there. If it had been dirty before, as the pictures show on the Facebook, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, but I didn't see any of that day. I was extremely impressed and wish more would follow suit. He puts a lot of pride into it.
Okay. Anything else you want to add? I inspected the site today, so I would refer you to your packets and the pictures that are in there. The picture at the top is facing in the southeasterly direction on County Road 225 West. This is the county road that goes up to his farm. And it does not have any outlet, as you might be able to tell from the information warning sign there on the right side. The middle picture is taken facing slightly northeast, looking towards the homestead, and this is at the end of that county road where the outlet is. Again, you're looking in an easterly, northeasterly direction. In that middle picture, you cannot see the building where the kennel operation is at, but it would be back behind the white building there. And then if you look at
So where's the rest of them at? You put them in each box? Yeah. Okay, you'll do the next ones, okay? Okay, you'll do what I did. Okay.
if I may, I'll continue. If you look at the third picture, this again is located behind the white building that you see in the second picture. It is slightly downgrade at a lower level, but it's behind all of the buildings. In the background, you can see a woods that largely encircles the building, but again, the building in that bottom picture is the kennel building. And then the picture on the second page at the top is along the east side of the building. And you'll notice there is an outdoor wood furnace that supplies heat to the building. And then pens in